We've learned a lot about what a product manager is, who a product manager is. We've done a bit on, we've learned all the rituals, agile, waterfall, all of that, right? We even learned how to build our own products. We played around Lovable. Is this done? All right, we played around Lovable. Oh, lovely. Okay, I'll check it out later. All right, so we played around Lovable together, and the result of our playing around it was really good. I saw some of your work, and it was really, 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 really good. So yeah, now we want to learn how to track what we are doing. How do we even know that this thing that we've built is working well? There are two parts to this. There's one way where you depend solely on your developers. That means you give your developer a certain amount of time. Like you always reach out to your developers and say, hey, Alpha guys, I need data on this particular thing. How many users do we have right now? You always reach out to them. Or you connect your system's data, live data, to platforms like Metabase, like PostHog, like Amplitude, User Pilots, and many, many more like that. So this platform allow you to connect your websites or your product to their system. Sorry, give me a minute. All right, so it allows you guys to basically connect, right? Eventually, connect your system, right, to a platform that can allow you to visualize your data. All right. This is what we're going to be learning today. Most of this system, before I go deep into it, the first one, like I said, you always go to your developers. If you are working in a big company, which means you have a data analyst in the company, right? It means that probably you have to go to the data analyst or the data engineer. But even with big companies, you probably just have one or two data engineer, or even if you have them, they probably work with IO. Like when I say IO, I mean the infrastructure team, and you can't just go to them and say, "Hey, give me data about this." They will look at you like we have other work, other more important job to do. Sorry. Okay. So because of this, products managers have to be independent of them, in sort of way or somehow, right? Platforms like Tableau and Metabase allow you to basically visualize your data. If you're good enough, you can write queries, create dashboards, and all of that yourself. But platform like PostHog, User Pilot, I heard that Amplitude is also like that. They automatically help you transform your data, so you don't have to worry about it. I think Vercel also has that inbuilt, right? They transform the data and make sense of it on behalf of you. So let's do a bit of this. Please give me a minute. All right. So um I think I don't have to go into much details about why data changes everything, because I've explained this over and over again in class, right? That we don't say, oh, we want this feature because I think, right? Or we don't say because the company says, oh, this is what we should do. or because, like I said, today, right, we have tested the product used with normal user this thing and it works fine. So we could have released, but we needed some level of confidence. In my own case, it was not data, it was assurance from the person that developed it. And the person was like, no, I'm not confident in it. There was a reason why I was not confident, not the code. It was more of the infrastructure demands on the feature we're pushing. But yeah, in the case of deciding which feature to actually churn out, which feature should we develop next, you probably don't want to make decisions based on gut feeling or because your CEO says this is going to bring money, or because your CEO says that's what the investors are looking for, right? There has to be something that defines it because eventually, even if the investors are the one that asked for it, they will still ask your CEO what data backs it. And then when that happens, your CEO will come back and meet you and say, Alpha, do you have any research that proves that this is right or wrong, right? At the end of the day. So every company has something we call a North Star. It could be, and each product has that one thing that we say, okay, we want to ensure that we are able to track every time. That North Star is your main goal. You should keep it in front of you. Like, it must not shake. For example, for Spotify, their North Star, based on their announcement, is that they they are not really caring about the number of people that sign up on their platform because they probably have a lot of sign up right now, but they are more concerned about how long people actually stay in Spotify to listen to music, right? They realize that people can download. I mean, we're in the world of streaming, so people don't want to, they don't even have space, right? We don't have space to be downloading music and putting on our phone anymore. But with streaming app, people can just go to the streaming app, search for the song, and play any song at any point without having to pay any amount, right? This is how streaming works now. So they know they are not worrying about if people will stream. They know people will stream, but their North Star is how long will people actually stay on our platform? We want them to stay a certain amount of time. This is not disclosed, but this is their North Star. Airbnb is saying, we don't care about the number of users that come to our platform. Of course, we don't care also about the number of people that post that they have houses, right? You know, the idea of the Airbnb is that I have like a 2 bedroom. I can design one of the bedrooms and design it in such a way that people can actually come and live it. People do it a lot in Lagos, right? They sublease their house for per night, right? So somebody's coming to Lagos for the first time, he doesn't know where to stay, he just goes to Airbnb and search for somebody who has a room that is charging per night. And people make a lot of money on this, right? For people that want to come to Lagos or that are in Lagos that wants to do the business, right? So you furnish one of the rooms, in case you've never heard of this before. You furnish one of the rooms you have, and then just make it, especially if the room is en suite, which means the toilet is there and everything, make it as furnished as possible for security reasons. Ensure that you have keys for your own room, and also ensure that maybe you have security cameras everywhere. And the security cameras have, at least not everywhere, but like in the sitting room, the security cameras have, what do they call it? Sensors, so that if somebody wants to switch it off, it rings your phone or something like that for security purpose. But people are making a lot of money. The last time I checked, let me even check Airbnb in Lagos, in Ikeja. Airbnb in Ikeja per night. Hmm. Okay, let's see. Let's pick Friday. Friday is always more expensive, actually. So I want to go in on Friday and come out on Saturday. Let's see offers, right? $34. See, this is even $70. You might even see, what did I say? $130, $170. Um, so people are making a lot of money from the apartment, and Airbnb is saying, see, guys, I don't care about, like, I don't really normally, we don't care about that people are posting their house. We are more concerned about every night that is booked per month, the number of nights that is booked per month. So their North Star is not that people post their houses. No, they don't care about that as much. Where they used to care about that when they just started. But now they don't care about it anymore because there's a lot of people that are already making money on the platform. But those people cannot make money if people are not booking. Do you get? So this becomes their next what are they calling it? North Star. I hope you understand how North Star work. North Star is that singular value that determines why your users will probably keep coming back. Right? If you think about it uh, in a summarized way to explain it, like it determines or it explains why your customer keeps coming back. That's what we call a North Star. All right. I give an example here that Paystack as well does not care about all the businesses that are signed up on them, rather more like the volume. They want to know the Paystack can have um Paystack can have 100,000 users, right? And eventually, only I'll give you an example. Most of us remember Abeg, right? During Big Brother Nigeria a few years ago, Abeg was everywhere, everywhere. Abeg app. I think knowing the kind of person that Innocence is, I'm sure that he signed up on the Abeg app just to see how the app works, right? And maybe to beg, or maybe somebody tried to beg money from him and he said, this exists. Let me also download it and use it to beg money for. Yeah. I think I downloaded it and begged money from Adiola at that time, but I can't remember. But I beg it exists at that time. Like they announced the number of downloads they had in just 3 days of advertising on Big Brother Niger. It was they had more downloads and sign up than the most profitable fintech in Nigeria. However, where is Abeg today? Right? It got so bad for them that they had to rebrand. Right? I think they are now Pocket app. Is the Abeg is now the Pocket app that um what did they call their name? That Piggyvest, right, had to acquire. And why did even Piggyvest acquire them? Not because they had anything reasonable, God forgive me, but because Piggyvest does not have the license that they have to be able to hold people's, like not hold people's money, but like transact, right? So for Piggyvest to be able to transact, then like buy airtime and all those actions, then they need to get a company that already has the license because most likely CBN would not give them the license because they don't want them to um become, what's the word that they use when a business becomes the king in the market, right? So because of that, this is why that happened. So again, um, probably the biggest mistake they made is believing that um more sign-ups would bring them more money, right? And that's one mistake that Piggyvest had never made in their life. They have always been very intentional about I said Piggyvest Paystack, always been intentional about the number of volume. Like that's why they have, because they are working with businesses. So they want to know how much transactions can they manage monthly, right? So you think about it, right? Piggyvest probably handles the number of money. I said Piggyvest, the number of money that moves through Paystack every single month. We are talking of trillions in naira every single month. That's volume, right? And that's why when somebody was telling me, why would Stripe buy Piggyvest? I mean, why not just come and like just collect the license and start a company? I just laughed, right? Of course, Stripe already has a business that works. All they had to do was they could have just collected a license and extend Stripe to Nigeria, and most people will still use it. But they didn't acquire Paystack because of the license. They acquired Paystack because of the numbers. Paystack is basically powering, like I said, trillions, tens, hundreds in trillions, if not thousands in trillions of naira every month, if not every week now. And that's the kind of money that you probably want to keep a eye on. So in when the CEO is looking at the numbers. It's not concerned if one customer leaves if one business leaves. Well, except the business is top 40, top 10, right? But if you decide that you're not using Paystack again, or you go on Twitter and you go and shout, cancel Paystack, cancel Pay, you just be looking at you like you don't have sense, right? Because they are more concerned about the volume, not usually the sign-ups or whatever it is that we have like that. So they want to be sure that they're able to process enough or more than what they processed last month. Keeps growing. PiggyVest model as well. Of course, PiggyVest also has volume, but they are more concerned about how many people are actually saving actively. If I ask everybody here now, at least 4 out of 6 of us have a PiggyVest account. But if I ask us too, how many of us are actually save on PiggyVest? Bombastic side eye, right? We can see that probably not many of us actually do save on PiggyVest. And PiggyVest would probably not be concerned about those of us that saved once, twice. They want those people that are saving actively because then they can be able to um, estimate, right? And use, and okay, so for PiggyVest, the reason why this would be their North Star is because they are not just helping you save, they are giving you interest on it, which means that they have to find a way to make that interest, which means when they put money on their accounts, in fact, they are more happy when you lock it up. That's okay, I want to lock it for a year. They can take the entire money that people have locked for a year and trade with it, make money on it, and then give you your own profit sharing, right? At the end of the day. So if you are not saving actively, they are losing at the end of the day. You see why this is their North Star. So when you hear the term North Star, this is what that ideally means, right? I hope that I've done justice to that. Who determines the North Star? It's usually oftentimes the investors and the founder. So your North Star depends on the direction the company is going a lot of time. But sometimes some founders might put that responsibility on the product manager, and it changes, right? It changes over time. Like I said earlier, the Airbnb, when they started, their biggest data metrics will be how many people are feeling safe enough to actually lease out their city room or their extra room. Or let me ask, can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, thumbs up, please. I want to be sure my internet is okay.
I can hear you.
Okay. How many of us, if you're living in a two-bedroom, would be willing to leave your one of your room and say, okay, let a stranger come and live in it? I mean, the Nigerian in us anyway. If you just raise up your hand, there's a this thing to raise your hand. Okay, innocent. Innocent like people. Is a people person. Any other person, right? So we'll probably see that not most of us, right, wants to have strangers in our home, even though the room is useless. It's not doing anything. That room could be making like 200K for us every night. And by the end of maybe 1 month, you already have your next year rent, right? Um, but the fear of, oh, yeah, let me not be sleeping and someone will come and put knife in my neck. Abi, what if it's a woman that says she wants to come and stay in my house and me, I'm keeping my purity on the word of God. I don't want to sin against God. And then the girl just come and just wear this thing and just come outside. And that's when me I want to go to the room and I just jam her and this thing just fall down. You start imagining things at the end of the day. But this is the problem they had initially. So their North Star at that time was to convince people enough to actually come to use the app. That means to put their place up as Airbnb. Now, after they were successful at that, which means they have a lot of people now, like just showing you guys Lagos alone, Lagos GRA. It's not even all Lagos, just Ikeja GRA. You see the number of lists. There's plenty of options to choose from. You even if you go there now, you choose, oh, I don't like this chair. I want a more aesthetically pleasing place. You even check, does the room has mirror? If it doesn't have mirror, I don't want. Like you can select, but it wasn't like that at the early stage. There's probably not many options when they started. So at that time, That will be their North Star because their business depends on it. Now, there are a lot of options, which means their business does no longer depend on it. What does their business depend on? These options not going to the competitors. Because these options, if you don't see people using their platform, they will leave and go and look for other people that will give them the customers that will come and use their house, right? So this is how ideally we choose our North Star, right? When you think about it. All right, so we also have something called funnel analysis. We'll go into practical now. We'll try and look for how to handle funnel as well. So funnel analysis, think of, most of us know what funnel is, Abi. Uh, Funnel is, what is the Yoruba of funnel? Okay, let me use explanation. For those of us that don't know what funnel is, funnel is that thing that when you want to pour, for example, I want to pour, all of us are Nigerians, so at least let's assume this is the bottle, right? But I'm done drinking the water, so I want to pour oil inside, but I don't want it to spill, so I put a funnel at the top so I can pour it without it spilling. That's what is a funnel. Now, think of the way a funnel is structured. A funnel is structured in this way, or this way, depending on how you handle it. So it's structured in this way so that it comes down, right? From the big mouth, then it comes to that tiny part. Only. Give me a minute, please. Have given somebody a Airbnb that no. Okay. Do you understand? So there's that funnel set. So that's what we call funnel analysis. Basically, what it means is if you see the example I give here, you have visits. Usually, whichever metrics you put at the top has to be the 100%. That's the metrics that has the highest in all your data. In the case of a website now, you can look at this now. You have web visits, startup, complete sign up, complete onboarding, and makes first purchase. So the journey in which the customer actually take action step by step in your platform or in your system is what we call a funnel, right? So the one that everybody will shall have to do to the one that only few people will do. I knew that somebody was there. All right, please, guys, give me a minute. I need to open up for someone. All right, sorry for the break in transmission. All right. So do you understand the idea behind funnel? So usually, you have the biggest. That top is where all the customers will shall be, and then when they are coming down, they start getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So the funnel shape is what they use to define it. So in this example, you see that your landing page, you had 24,000 visits. Your startup sign up, your sign up, you had 14,000. Which 60% of all the people that are visiting this particular page are actually signing up. And then, but out of this 60, almost only a bit about half of them are completing sign up, right? And out of those people that are sign up, only oh god, this system is terrible. Only 14 of them actually finish onboarding, right? So when you do the math, you realize that the biggest leak or the biggest problem is coming from here. However, here, if you look at the journey from the start of the sign up to the complete of the onboarding, you realize that the biggest problem that this particular platform has is that their onboarding process is very hard. This shows that their value is very valid, right? People can see, users can see that, oh, this thing that these guys are saying, their marketing effort is probably going well, right? Customers are saying, this is what I'm looking for. So they come to the landing page. That's 24 people. Imagine 24,000 people go to your landing page and only 1,000 of them actually use your system. Right? Or let's just say only 3,000 of them use your system because maybe they don't have money and they will purchase later. Do you understand? So the biggest problem would be that your entire onboarding process needs to be improved. Maybe cut it off. Maybe you don't need all this, like merge complete sign up and onboarding in the same place. Like onboard them while they are signing up, right? This is what funnel analysis basically help us with. It tells us where the problem is in our user journey, right? Um, so one challenge with funnel analysis is usually as products managers, we tend to look at the place that makes the money. So for example, instead of us looking at all together, we look at it. You see the way I looked at this, I think that it takes practice over time anyway. But you see the way I looked at this and I said, oh, the problem is the entire onboarding process needs to be compressed, made easy, right? For 68, 60, almost like to drop off, it means that they got to a point and they got tired. Or they got to a point and they're like, okay, it's not worth it. So you have to check what exactly is making them run away, right? Because it seems like some people tried hard to even get to onboarding and then you still give them too many pages. That's what it's looking like just looking at this. So which means number one, we have to ensure that we're not just optimizing the wrong step. If somebody can look at this one and say, almost 6%, I need more percent from these guys. Oh. So what do we do? Okay, let me start calling this guy. You now start calling them. Hey, we noticed that you completed onboarding, but you have not made purchase. You are wasting your time. Because there are some people out of these guys. That's why I said this is the biggest leak. There are some people out of these ones that would have made purchase, but they didn't. These guys that completed onboarding means that they are actually interested in purchasing, but they probably don't have the money right now. So probably all you just need to do is send a reminder some other time. Then put your energy on ensuring why exactly are we having a serious drop at this point, right? Again, if you look at the wrong place, then you have a different problem. All right. So also wrong time interval, right? A 24 hours funnel for a B2B takes 3 days to convert. So again, for most B2B, in fact, 3 days is like minimum, right? It could take 2 weeks, depending on what the onboarding process is. For a product like the company I work with, it requires WhatsApp verification and many other things like that needs to be done. And WhatsApp itself can take up to 5 days before they even verify your app, before they verify your account. And if they don't verify your account, you can't connect your account to another provider. So, which means even though we want to do the onboarding faster, Meta will say we have a lot of other people that we're attending to, right? So again, you need to understand what window should you check. Not like, oh, you're not checking it and like, you check 24 hours and say, people are running out. How have they not run out? Right? Because it takes time. So you now try to see, okay, maybe the promise we gave them earlier needs to change, right? And all of that. All right, so we have cohorts as well. Think of cohorts like grouping your users by something that makes them unique. For example, all the users that signed up in January can be a cohort. All the users that signed out that signed up from LinkedIn can be. In fact, that's the most popular concept. When you are signing up, they will tell you, where did you hear from us, right? They're trying to build a cohort. That's what we call a cohort. Like, okay, customers that come from LinkedIn are always more serious to buy than customers that come from X platform or Y platform, right? So that's what we call a cohort. So you group your users based on certain criteria. It could be where they came from, how they heard about you. It could be the months they registered. It could be the feature that brought them. It could be anything, right? But ideally, this is what that ideally means. And when you read cohort, I'll show you an example of what cohort looks like. I've explained retention. I said that is the only metrics that matter, regardless of whether you have 1,000 people every day that are signing up on your platform. If those people are not staying, which means they are not doing what they came to do consistently over a period of time, then you failed them, right? So that's what retention is eventually. All right. So three retention question. What is day 1, day 7, and day 30 retention this week? So basically, again, remember I said cohorts. So this is cohorts, this is another cohort, this is another cohort. So we're saying that these 3 cohorts, what is the number this week? These are our day 1s, those that were with us from the first time. These are our day 7, right? These are our day 30. It could be, you have like 3 cohorts and say, okay, this week versus last week, are they still staying? Do you understand? Which cohort of users retain the best, right? At what point? So if you look at which cohort of users retain the best, I say, okay, for example, you run ad on Instagram, you run ads on LinkedIn, you run ads on Google, and then you now check which ones came from Google, which one came from LinkedIn, which one came from Instagram, and then you look at your retention data, you realize that those people that come from LinkedIn, they usually make payments. So okay, so next time you want to run ads, you see, you can focus your ads on LinkedIn, right? So data helps you make better decision if you know what you are basically looking for. I've explained vanity metrics to you guys before. But I'll explain again. Vanity metrics is basically metrics that ideally they don't do anything for you. For example, total apps download. How many of them actually did anything with the download? Total registered user. Did they actually make anything? App store rating 4.7. Now, again, please note the fact that I'm saying that app store rating is a vanity metric does not mean that your app store should now have 4.1.0. It doesn't mean. But I'm saying that when you have it, that should not be like your right. This comes naturally based on the value that you give eventually. As you can see here, the NPS score, which is net promoter score, like I'm more concerned, I'm more happy. It makes more sense if my users are willing to recommend other users for my product than if they just want to give me rating, and which is a big mistake that customers do. When customer support speaks with their customers, you hear them say, "Are you willing to give us a rating?" Baba, that's not what matters. Ask them, how happy are you with the system? Are you willing to recommend if you had a chance to recommend this product to anybody, would you be willing to recommend, right? That moment, your users are actually thinking about a metrics, right? They are thinking, the moment you ask that question, or you say, okay, is there somebody in your life right now that you'll be willing to recommend this particular product to, right? At that particular point, they thought about it for a while before answering you yes or no, right? And if it is yes, trust me, after that call, they will recommend the person. So be more intentional, right, about your NPS score than your app store rating in a nutshell. So this is all I have for you guys. The rest you can read it up on product analytics. So before I go, I want to go through Amplitude as a platform for example with you guys. I tried building one because so that you guys can at least play around it. I'm not sure if Amplitude can work for you guys. Is it pushed? I tried building something like the one I built for the API. Okay, so let's go to Amplitude and play around it. So what I did before class, I'm sorry, I didn't even have chance to look at this thing. I connected Amplitude to my website. So every page on my website currently is fully connected. Every blog, every single thing basically on the website is totally connected to the store. So I want to see what this guy has been able to do with it. So first off, I want to be sure if the data is coming in. Let me see. Like I said, I've not used Amplitude before, so bear with me. There are 4 event types that have come, but I don't know where it is. Where do I find events? Yes, events. So I've seen view homepage. I've seen I navigated from homepage to where? Where did I go? Page view. Like I said, I've not used Amplitude before. Let me see the properties. Optional. Papa, why? Okay. Let me look for homepage view. Okay, so I need you guys to do me a favor. I need you guys to use my website. Like, just go to the website, click on as many pages as your hands can find. I'll send it here. Yes, you can use Google Analytics as well. Google Analytics is also an analytics tool that you can use. So just click on the website, go to as many pages as possible. Sorry, my website has a lot of pages. But yeah, just play around, go to all the pages that you can think of. Certification page. I rushed this, so I'm not sure if the integration is done correctly. But yeah. 60 back to all certification thoughts. Product managers are becoming product builders. Blah 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 blah. Let me open another one. I just want to have enough data so that we can visualize different data at the same time. Okay. So I think personally I have enough events. I think I have enough events. So let me go here. Product overview. 2 users. Are you guys not clicking on it? I'm seeing just 2 users. What's going on? Please click on the website and just, even if it's just one page you can click on, just click on the website, please. So that we can at least, please, so that we can, work on it together. Let me see, because I really don't have time to start building. Let's see. I hope you guys are clicking because I need as many clicks as possible. By the way, I have a book that is coming out very soon. I think you guys will like it. I'm almost done with it. If you want to read it, you can. It's on my website. They are reviewing it currently. Okay. So while we wait for this guy, let me play around it. Let me see what users. My website does not collect user information. Okay, we have 5. Okay, lovely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lovely. Cohorts. I explained cohorts to you guys, right? So you can come and create different cohorts here. And when you are creating cohorts, you can put decision. Users that perform these events, that has the property, that are part of another previous users that have been new, users that had sessions, you can even upload your own different cohorts. I've explained how that looks like. So most of this platform has those things, and that's why I try to explain it to you guys. Okay, I can see live events here. Lovely. I can see you guys clicked a lot of things. Okay, I have so much events. Wow, 100 events. Okay. So let's go and check our funnel. Nope, nope, not here. Page engagement, let me see. Page views. Like I said, we're using this guide together. So, okay, page views. As you can see, the analytics is basically telling me the two out of the box. By the way, what did I have to do? When you sign up on this guy, it will give you a snippet, a WebSDK code that you can just put in the header of your file. But if you want to go further ahead, you put it in basically all the page so that it can actually crawl through every page that your user clicks on. And that's what I've done. So it's showing me all the pages that have been clicked on, right? Total page view. Just now, you guys are working hard, right? So it's showing me 5 unique visitors. My page has been viewed 48 times, right? And total time spent 790 seconds on overall, right? So this is just 3 seconds. 103 seconds. That means some of you really read. That's looking good. But yeah, you can see per user, you can see all sort of lovely things that is going on here. Let me see if I can if this guy actually has a funnel. It should, at least to the best of my knowledge. There's something called session replay. Session replay allows you to see how your users are moving within the app. Let me see if I can quickly install it into my system. Remote data configured, session replay ingestion. We have not received any session replay, blah, blah, blah. Tell me I will pay without telling me I will pay. Do I have a PI key? I don't want to have to go through all this now. Anyway, so session replay actually gives you like, oh, okay, this user moved from this point to that point to that point, specific user's journey. It's always very beautiful to see. I use it for my products, right? I want to know how are my users moving. My product is one of the most complex products that you could ever build. And because it's complex, it can be very hard to see what direction the users are moving. This is a straightforward direction. People go to the home page, they click on this, they click on that. But I want to know what they are clicking on before they click on the actual thing I want them to click on, right? So session replay is one of the best places to do that. Let me see if there's anyone else that's this platform has some of those things we discussed in the other things, like you want to do A/B testing, you want to do feature flag. I think the platform is like all encompassing. Uh, where is it now? Okay. Okay, for now, yeah. Add events. Where is home page? Viewed home page is the first funnel. Let's say it's the first funnel. And then the next events. So usually, viewed home page. Which other one? navigated. Yeah, let's try and see if it works. Okay. Right. Can you see? I don't know why their UI is like this, but usually the funnel is always a fantastic one. So, but you can see from here, this is 100%. Remember the diagram I showed you about, the one I showed you now? So I can see everybody viewed on page. Not everybody. Somebody viewed from a different page. But yeah, you see four people viewed home page and only one of them navigated from home page. So which means you guys did not navigate from home page. You did something else. But yeah, the point is this gives you that analysis. If we had time, I would have actually created as many actions on this as possible. And your retention, this will not probably work because I have to define how many of them actually comes back. Right now it's showing 100% because, today is day one. Tomorrow we check how many of them. I have an example on PostHog. Where is PostHog? Yeah. I used this for another class, by the way, when I was teaching. I had more time. So it was a 6 month class. So pardon me. I wish I have enough time to actually show you guys practice, but it takes time. But you see this user retention rate, right? You can see here on the week one, it was almost 100% for every of the cohorts, right? But week two was dropping. At this point, it was literally dropping. Week two, dropping. In the let me see the cohorts that increased. Yes, these cohorts, May 3rd to May 9th cohorts, had 100. They went away till this time, right? And came back. 33%, of them came back. Why did I think they came back again? Oh, okay. These are the guys from UK. They had another session with me, right? And in the session with me, they had to test it again. That's why you see the spike. So again, this is how cohort works, right? So your retention rate is you helping me know that, okay, out of all my cohorts, which ones of them actually works? How many of them am I able to retain? Right? These three guys were the UK guys I spoke with. All right. So you can see this first day, you have 28 guys, 28 of them that signed up. This day, about 37 of them, right? Basically, I wanted to have different cohorts, so I didn't tell all of them to sign up at once. I had about 100 students that I taught at that particular time. So again, this at least gives you an idea of what retention mapping looks like. So you're able to map how many of these users have I been able to retain, and then this looks like your funnel as well, right? 42 of them started onboarding, 38 of them completed onboarding, like that. Do you understand? So this is how it works ideally. Do we have any question? Any question by any? Any question? Again, not like after today's class, you now say, I don't even understand anything. The person I am talking knows themselves. All right, I'm not trying to shade you anyway. Please ask any question. I know it can be very overwhelming or complex, but like I said, I hope that this would encourage you guys. I am self-taught. Most of these platforms that I'm walking around, like I told you, I'm using this guy for the first time, Amplitude. So trust me that the rest of today or tomorrow, basically on Saturday when I'm free, I'll most likely spend a long time. That's why I spend time to connect it to my website, because I want to spend a lot of time. I'll probably send it to my different groups and say, guys, just click on anything on this website, right? Just to see the experience and maybe even improve it. Right. I have another analytics that I use for my website right now so that you guys can at least see context. Vercel has like an inbuilt, if you activate it, Baba skip. If you activate it, right, Vercel has an inbuilt analytics tool that works for me, right? So I don't need to use an external analytics, but I intentionally wanted to use it so that you guys will get to see it, right? You can see the bounce rates. I can see the number of page views in the last 7 days, right? Number of people that viewed, number of unique visitors that came to my website. See, by the way, I'm a, what do they call it now? I'm not there yet, but for people to go to your website, 115 people to go to your website in the last 7 days is not small, right? And this is a testament to some of the work that we've been doing, and most of them, as I explained to you guys, there's quite a number of them. This one is Vassell. It's inside Vassell. We have Amplitude. Amplitude is the one I used today. Then you have PostHog as well. At least both of them provide a freemium version, so you like a free trial. Then we have Metabase. I'm giving you as many names as possible. We have Metabase. We have one as well, Mixpanel, right? Mixpanel was the first one I learned in my entire life, right? We have Mixpanel. We have a lot of them, right? Just play around them. And I hope you learn. For example, me now, I have my landing page. You guys, actually, out of these 115, most of them are you guys. The course, right? So we have people on the course, taking the course, right? And I think I have a couple of people also trying to book mentorship with me or pay for a training, which I stopped for now, right? Because I'm actually currently teaching. So, and then somebody went to send some. I think this was probably today, right? So if I go back and see maybe the last 30 days, right, I'll probably see a more dicey, right, diagram or play around. So the idea is just to help you guys see what is possible. Why is Infonic referring them? Right, what's possible? Which countries are people actually connecting my website from? You see, a lot of places, Poland, Turkey, US, I'm a very popular person. So you see where people are actually connecting from. I mean, this is basically what Google Analytics can do for you as well. But I use Vassell because it's more straightforward and less drama at most cases. But what am I trying to say in essence? This is what I need for my website to see where people are actually, mostly because of the countries. I need to know where people that are viewing my platform are coming from. There was a time that my biggest numbers were coming from China. There was a day I was literally having a lot of people from China. I don't know how my website got leaked to them, but it seems like I got a lot of view from China. So sometimes I just like to view it and see, okay, how can I improve my system to ensure that the other countries start seeing it. There was a time that it was just Nigerians. That was the only people that were viewing my website. Now I'm seeing people from Germany, which is good news, right? So I can keep improving my website to have more visibilities, right, on people using it really at the end of the day. All right. This is what analytics is. I hope the small example I gave helps you to understand. Probably if this was a bigger class, a larger class, it would have made more sense. Because I would have spent a whole week teaching you about analytics. But I hope that these little ones that I taught helped you at least understand the concepts of product analytics. If there's no question, I'll say thank you. Thank you very much for coming to class. See you tomorrow when we'll learn a bit about A/B testing. Probably do a bit
Please,
of
sorry, I want
practical
to
as well.
ask, is Vassell free? Is it
Yes, Vassell
premium?
is free. It's free. I'm using the free version. The downside of Vassell Analytics is that they only give you 30 days. So you can only see data for 30 days. But if you want, like for the last 30 days, sorry, your data will still be there, but you can only see for the last 30 days. If you want to see longer, you have to unlock it. But last 30 days is enough for a starter. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so tomorrow we'll do A/B testing and then we'll be done for the week. I'll try to use my website as a practical as well. If I have time tomorrow, I'll build a different UI here and we'll do a bit of test so that all of you would use the same website but you would see two totally different things. Maybe I'll change the color here, this main color to blue, so that some people will see blue, some people will see green, just to give you guys a vibe of what A/B testing looks like, right? To get that perspective. All right, thank you. Have a wonderful day and see you tomorrow. Bye.